From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spar on the radio.
Hello to Lyra. How are you today?
I'm absolutely fantastic. How are you, love?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for letting me chat to you today. So we're going to chat about some singles and album that you have, or your EP that you released in your career so far. So let me take you back when you first started. So can you tell what's it like when you first went into the recording studio?
It was great. I mean, when I first started recording, it was in my friend's garage, just singing into an old mic, hoping that the neighbors weren't going to come knocking on the door telling us to be quiet. It was very raw, very organic, real good fun, really exciting. That's when I first self-released my first EP. I worked myself to the bone to get the money to put that out, and I was very proud of her. And then I suppose I started developing as an artist, and now I brought out my debut album, which was a complete different recording process. You know, I got to go to LA to do a bit of it, which for a girl coming from a tiny, tiny village in Ireland is pretty mind-blowing, I'm not going to lie. And I got to write with some amazing, amazing people, you know, some guys that worked with Lady Gaga, Dan Pretty, who's done Rag and Bone Man, Bastille, you know. It's been a whirlwind of a career, but I'm thoroughly enjoying every step of the way. And I'm very happy that my debut album is finally out.
So can you tell me about your debut single called Rabbit in the Headlights?
So Rabbit in the Headlights, actually, I wrote, it was very much about my friend. She was struggling a lot. She was having a hard time, you know, coming to terms with this social media world that we have. You know, the Instagram versus reality kind of disappeared for her. We were in school and she fell pregnant, so she was a very early mom, and she was comparing herself to all the other moms around that maybe were a lot older than her and a lot more experienced, and she was having a bad time. And she said to me one day, she's like, I just feel like a rabbit in the headlights. So I wanted to write a song for her to kind of try and pick her up and let her know that we all think she's doing fantastic. She's glorious to us no matter what. So that's why the chorus is like, you're glorious to me. So that's what Rabbit in the Headlights is about, actually.
So you're going to be 1 or 2 years now. So can you tell me more about the circle sessions?
God, that feels like ages ago, but it was great to be invited to come and perform for them. I love being able to do different things. Like, my sound on stage is big. Like, there's big drums, it's big everything. So to be able to do a circle sessions where everything's stripped back, was in like a derelict building up in London, and it just really be about the vocals, was a really good experience for me. I covered Ed Sheeran's Shape of You in like my own style, which got a lot of traction, which I was thrilled with. So yeah, it was nice to kind of step out of my comfort zone and strip it all back and go back to basics.
So where do you get your inspiration to songwriting?
It's kind of all, as egotistical as it sounds, and I'm not an egotistical person, it's all about me, my life experiences, what I've been through. You know, I find it really hard to write songs that I can't connect to. So it has to be about what I've been through. So a lot of the albums about my ex, and more of my ex. There's also a lot about finding myself as a single girl. I'm the type of girl, I love love. I love being in relationships. So like, one snog and I'm like, when am I meeting your mother? So I kind of had to get out of that and decide to become a bit more of an independent woman and not live life for other people, live it for myself. So you hear a lot of that as well in the album. So a lot of my music is from self-reflecting, self-learning, self-teaching, all that kind of jazz. It's very autobiographical. Is that a word? Autobiographical? Oh, I'm going with it anyway. It's a word now. I just said it.
It is. You invented it. So, can you tell me more about Lose My Mind?
Lose My Mind. So she was actually created on a hangover, and it was about a night out went out with my friends. They were like, we're sick to death of you writing about your ex all the time. How about us? We've picked you up so many times. And I was like, you know what, girls? You're absolutely dead right. How dare I forget about you? So I said, right, let's go out on the town on the Razmagaz. Let's see what happens. I'll take all the names out so we don't get kicked out of the village, and I'll write a song about it. So I went into the studio the next day. I was sitting on the couch with a massive hangover, and I just kept saying, like, I keep losing my mind. And I was like, okay, this is the chorus. Let's just go with it. And she's a bit of a fun number. When I sing her live, people love it because it's a moment for them to be able to, like, get up, have a bit of a boogie. And I literally do lose my mind when I perform it on stage. I'd be flicking my hair everywhere. My neck could be killing me at the end of the song. But it's a great fun track, which I love.
So can you tell me more about your EP called The Edge of 17?
Yeah, so Edge 17 actually is a cover of Stevie Nicks' song. And John Gibbons, who is an amazing dance producer, contacted me and he was like, I want to do this song. I've been looking for a vocalist. I've tried out a few people. I would just love if you'd come and it was kind of around COVID time. So I was like, you know what? It's not as if my diary is bursting at the seams right now. So I was like, I'll go in for a few hours, have a bit of fun, do it, see what it's like. So I did. And then a couple of weeks later, everyone was just like, this is it. Like, your vocals match the song. Let's run with it. Let's put it out. So I was like, you know what? I'd said no long enough to, like, going outside my comfort zone. When COVID took everything away from me, I came out with a new lease of life thinking, go for it, live life with the max, have fun, enjoy it. So I said, yeah, let's put it out. Let's just go with it. And people just seem to really fall in love with it. And it's a great one as well to perform live because it's a great dance anthem. And, you know, I try and put it at the end of the set so people really go for it and they're leaving like out of breath. And it's a really good fun song.
So what was it like during COVID being a singer-songwriter?
I absolutely hated it. I suppose, like everyone, it was an awful time. And I have a very loud voice. So trying to do, like, shows over Zoom was just not the one for me. I'd have to, like, run up to the mic to, like, do the verses and then run back to the other side of the room to do the choruses because I'm not a technician. So trying to get this whole, like, mixing thing going on my own was just not a vibe. My neighbors hated me. They kept banging on the door being like, can you keep it down? They actually just started sending their Deliveroos to my door, almost like just to annoy me so I'd stop singing. So it wasn't a vibe. So I'm so delighted I get to be back out on the road and going on tours again because I feel like performing is where I really become myself. And I love performing so much. And I love singing. So I'm delighted.
So you have these some Christmas singles. So tell me more about the magic of Christmas.
So I wrote that actually in COVID. I was at home. I was on my own. It was coming up to Christmas time and I was so lonely. And I kind of thought to myself, you know, Christmas only really becomes Christmas when you're surrounded by the people that you love. That's what Christmas, to me anyway, is all about. It's not about the presents. It's not about this, that, and the other. It's just about being with people that I love. And I decided to write a song about it, but I decided to write it about these two Christmas decorations who are in love. But once they're packed away in the attic, they just become decorations. And once Christmas starts coming, these decorations come alive and they spend the whole of Christmas together. So that's how the magic of Christmas came about. I just let my imagination run wild a bit.
So, and then there's a single I picked out called You. So can you tell me more about that?
So this one is actually about after the massive breakup that I went through. I was like, right, I'm not lovable. My ex was like, you're not intelligent enough. Like, I wasn't this, I wasn't that. A load of things that I wasn't. So I was like, well, no one's going to want me. That's it. End of story. So nothing builds your confidence up more than going on a bottomless brunch with your girl. So I done that, had a bit too much Prosecco. I'm not going to lie. And then went out on the town. And I saw this guy and he had, like, long hair, a big long beard. He looked like he just walked out of the woods. And I was like, oh my God, this guy looks like Drogo from Game of Thrones. I obviously think I'm a bit of a Khaleesi with the blonde hair. I normally have extensions in. They're normally down as far as my bum. So I was like, this is it. He's my Drogo. I'm Khaleesi. Let's go. And it's kind of about finding love again and letting yourself fall for somebody else, and somebody else bringing that spark back into your life that maybe you thought that you had missed out on now that you were dropped. So that's the whole story behind You.
So, can you tell me more about the first single that released, second single released this year called Drink Me Up?
So I don't know how much I can say about this one, I'm not going to lie, because she is a bit of a naughty one. So I'll try and keep myself from not being cancelled, but it's about the time that I went to LA. Like I said, I love love. I'm a relationships kind of girl, so I have one snog, and I'm like, when am I meeting your man vibes? And this was the time where I was like, just go out, have fun, let your hair down, like have a one night stand if you want to have a one night stand. Don't let people's judgment, cloud what you want to do in life. So I did. And then obviously I wrote a song about it. And that's all I can say.
So, can you tell me more about your latest single that is called Queen?
Queen. I love Queen because she was the massive turning point in my life where she's kind of like in the same vein as Drink Me Up. They're written in the same kind of time in my life where I was like, live your life for you. You only get one of them. You've been living it for somebody else for so long, trying to be this perfect girlfriend, marriage material. Just go and enjoy yourself. And it's kind of like a confidence anthem. It's kind of like an independence anthem. It's like, I don't need anybody. I can be my own queen. I will be happy by myself, finally. So it's just a bit of fun on that. And I love it because I do find it very empowering when I sing it. And it was the song that gave me massive closure as well over my old relationship. So she's one of my favorites, and she's going to be one of my favorites forever.
So, can you tell me more about your album that released, or debut album, called Lyra?
Yeah, so I called it Lyra just simply because it's all about my life experiences. So I was like, why not call her Lyra? I mean, I was going to maybe call her Juicy, but then I thought, you know what, that sounds like something else. So I'll just leave that there and not call her Lyra. So it took me a bit of time. Like, I had the songs for ages, but it just never seemed like the right time to release the album. We went into COVID, as we were talking about. We came out. I wanted to spend a year, like, for people to reintroduce myself, to get to know me again as an artist, rather than just shoving an album down everyone's throats. So I took my time to actually putting it out into the world, and it just felt right now. It felt like the right time, the right place, the right point in my career. I was extremely happy with it. So she came out, and I was delighted to be able to work with a lot of amazing people on this album. I'm very much the forefront of my songwriting. I love writing. I just love writing. But I got to write with the likes of like Dan Pretty, who's done Bastille, Rag and Bowman, Burns, who's done Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande. There's a lot of big hitters that I got to write with. But there's also a lot of songs that started on my couch, me on my own, bought into a producer. Phil Cook is an amazing producer, and we get on extremely well. So I feel like I can tell him anything through a song. So there's a few songs I think on there with Phil, which I'm delighted about. And it was an experience, and I've learned a lot about making an album. So I tell you that for nothing. So watch out for album number 2. I'm already started it.
That's good. So can you tell me, what's it like being a signed artist to an independent record label in Ireland?
It's great. I've kind of done it all. So I've been an independent artist with my debut EP, Wild, that I done myself, which actually got a lot of traction for an independent artist. It got picked up a lot. To then becoming a signed artist with a major record label, and then becoming a signed artist to an independent record label. And for me personally, it's just about finding what suits you as an artist, and what team you have around you, their vision they have for you, and if that matches yours. And I've been lucky that this team I'm with now, Ruby Works, they believe in me so much as an artist, as a woman in the music industry, as a human. They really have my back on all platforms of life. And I feel like maybe that's why I'm bringing out my best material to date. And that's why I'm the most confident I've ever been, because I have such a great team behind me, whether it be independent or not. As long as you have that team that really believe in you and want the best in you, I feel like that's where you'll really start soaring in the music industry, because that's what happened to me.
So, can you tell me more about your up and coming tour that's starting on tomorrow, the 4th of May, in Manchester?
It is. I can't believe it's tomorrow. I actually can't. We're starting in Manchester tomorrow. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to the UK tour because, I feel like in Ireland, I'm an established artist where a lot of people know me. In the UK, I'm new, up and coming. So it's exciting for me to get out and play in front of people that maybe been brought along by their friends, or maybe just taking a chance on new music. Maybe they found me when I was supporting Westlife. So it's always very exciting to get up on stage and just meet new people and introduce them to me as a person, as well as my music, because you can listen to music on Spotify till the cows come home, but meeting somebody and hearing about their stories is something completely different. And that's something I really want to share with my audience and something I love doing. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. We've Manchester, Glasgow, Cardiff and London. So hopefully I'll see some of your listeners at some of them.
So, is there any other venues that you're looking forward to performing at?
All of them. Like, they're all pretty iconic venues for a starting out artist in their own right. So, maybe I'm looking forward to London only simply because some of my UK friends who have never seen me perform before are coming. So I'm looking forward for them to see me and see what I do, and finally find out that I do have a real job, that I'm not just sitting at home writing songs. So I think that's going to be an exciting night for me, just to show people and show my friends what I've been working on all this time that I've missed out on all their birthday parties, that this is what I've been working on. So that's going to be exciting for me.
So finally, can you tell me, listeners, when can they find you on your social media?
So I'm always on the gram, on Instagram, and it's This Is Lyra, THIS. I know I'm really bad at pronouncing my THs, but it's This Is Lyra. And also my website, lyra.ie, has everything on it. But if you want a bit of crack, it's definitely on Instagram.
Well, thank you. Let me chat to you today.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, sweetheart. Lovely to meet you.
Enjoy your tour.
Thank you. I will indeed. I'm looking forward to it now. Thanks again.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.